Mhm.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Balanced Fit and Free podcast. I'm Rayanne, and I'm your host. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I have my friend and colleague, Ashley Fox, here today, and I'm so excited to have her and do my first actual interview for the podcast and the first YouTube video of the podcast. So, this is kind of fun and different. And I just want to tell you that I asked Ashley to join us today because she is somebody that I believe totally embodies the balanced, fit, and free lifestyle. And I just think she's somebody you need to know about. And I also think it's important for you to meet and hear about other women who are living this kind of lifestyle. They're healthy, they're happy. But here's the other thing, everybody has struggles. And so I want you to know a little bit about Ashley and her, where she is now and where she has been and how she got there. So welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on with
Yeah,
you today. And I'm really looking forward to this. I'm
I'm
just sharing a little bit more about myself with your listeners.
awesome. I love it. And I got to tell you, I love it because Ashley is a big listener of the podcast and she's really sweet and shares the podcast with everybody. So thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. I know you're always like really positive about it. So I appreciate your loyalty as well. So thank you. So Ashley and I met, I don't even know what year it was. I can't remember. It was like, do you remember?
No, I really don't. It may have been like
2000
2016 or 17.
I'm thinking 16-ish.
Yeah.
About when I closed the studio and really jumped into more city stuff. So anyway, Ashley was an employee of the city of Greensboro where I did some wellness work. We did some fitness classes. And so she was in my Friday class on Fridays at noon. I met them at the Water Resources Center in Greensboro. And it was one of my favorite groups ever. We had like such a good bond immediately. So we had some really fun people in that group. But Ashley, when I first went in, I got to tell you this. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I came in and she came walking in and she's so cute, as you can see. But we started working out and I was like, oh man, like, I don't know if this is gonna be hard enough for her. Like, she's like so fit and like young and peppy. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, so I like, unfortunately for the rest of the group, I would always kick it up a notch because I wanted Ashley to get a good workout. So anyway, but that's how we met. And then one day she approached me and was like, "Hey, I would like to talk to you, about what you do." And so we went to lunch and then we just, from there sprouted a friendship. So anyway, that's what I remember. I don't know if you have a different memory or not.
No, I mean that sounds pretty much right what I remember. I mean, I just really looked up to you. You were also positive, and that just kept me wanting to come back. And I mean, I loved fitness already. So it was a great time.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I miss those days, but we all have to move on and move forward. So Ashley, I'm just going to jump into some questions for you. And I think, I definitely want to get into your story and like your wellness story or all of that. But first, I think you have a super cool job. So can you tell us a little about what you do as your day job, like your regular job?
Yeah, sure. So I worked for the city of Greensboro for 8 years as a laboratory specialist in the wastewater treatment division of water resources. And then in 2020, I made a move to the city of Asheboro to work in their water quality department for their water resources. And so, yeah, I make sure that the drinking water that we send out to the community is safe to drink. And so it's a very on the go job, which is great for me because it's just not like at a desk all day long. It's up and down and moving around. And so, yeah, I do a lot of lab work and field work.
Oh, that's good. And it's
Yeah.
it's really important, because obviously we need safe drinking water. So that makes me think of a question for you. How much water do you drink a day?
Yeah, I drink nearly a gallon, well, especially this time of year. So, minimum like 80 ounces up
Okay.
to a gallon.
All right. That's
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
I have to ask, do you drink the city water?
Yes, I do. I sure do every day.
Woo! That's a testimonial there. It must be really
Yes.
good. I just was checking. I don't live on city water, so like I drink my water too. But um okay, cool. So as I mentioned, when we first started talking outside of, fitness classes, it was really mostly because you were really interested in taking your love and passion for not just fitness, but nutrition and overall wellness. You were trying to figure out like how can you start making it part of your career too. And so, since then you've done a lot actually. Can you tell us a little bit about like what you've done to start doing this, like start being a health and wellness coach?
Yeah, well, originally when I brought that up to you, I was initially wanting to be a personal trainer. Like I thought that would be so incredible to work directly with people in a gym setting, more in the fitness arena. But as I progressed in my own personal journey, I really decided maybe it's not just fitness that I'm interested in. It's more the entire wellness of the person. So the nutrition and the fitness, the mindset that goes along with that. So a big part of it is just my own journey, learning what that means to me and finding what works for me. Not necessarily that is what works for everybody else,
Right.
but learning through that. And so then, just last year, I completed my health coach certification or nutrition certification through Precision Nutrition. And
Awesome.
I actually, we're lifelong learners.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to hone my skills a little bit more as I move into being a health coach, and so I signed up for a health coaching course through Randolph Community College,
Great.
and that will also give me the opportunity to become national board certified, which I thought was a really great opportunity to move forward with.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I really do. So, what did you enjoy about doing the nutrition certification? We have the same one, so I wanted to point out that. So what's your favorite part about precision nutrition?
Simplicity.
Yeah.
Like simple does not equal easy, but they really taper it back to let's just take it back to the basics.
Right.
Like, let's just, I know in your previous podcast, you've talked about level 1, 2, and 3 type clients and nutritional levels. And, they really focus on that level 1, which is most people. I mean, that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that. So it's just really about hitting those basics, getting the foundation, and the way they simplify it. I just really loved how they communicated that within the certification program.
Yeah, I think it's really great. And I think you said something really important there is that most people are level 1. Most people just need the basics, and that's part of like the problem. That's part of what I'm fighting against is people going that from not even a full level 1, meaning they don't even really fully understand what a protein is or why they need it. And then they're like jumping into these hardcore programs and then they wonder why they fail. And so I too agree with the precision nutrition in that they take it way back. Like sometimes you're like, really? And then you're like, no, really? Because most people, it is new information or better information. And, they take it step by step versus like doing everything at once, which is what most people try to do. Right.
Right.
So, all right. So what do you now I know you've been coaching some people. So
Mhm.
what would you say is your favorite part about coaching?
Well, this client was actually more informal through my work setting, but just actually it was just Tuesday of this week. We were talking again, just kind of chatting about his eating habits, and long, like weeks ago, maybe months ago, we had talked about the same kind of stuff. And I said, it's okay, practice leaving some food on the plate, like when you're eating out, because he had really a lot of trouble eating past fullness. So people aren't comfortable with throwing food away. Like I myself have struggled with that concept because I grew up in my grandma's clean plate club.
Oh yeah.
And so I said, just practice leaving some some food on the plate, maybe 2, 3 bites. Start there. And he says, I still think of that. I still remember that. And that's, weeks have passed, but he still has carried that with him. And that's really rewarding that, I'm in their brain.
I know. Isn't it cool? No, I think that's a really good, and it's not about, and what I love about you is your very gentle approach. I mean, you and I have been talking before, just having dinner or whatever, and just your way of like, when you tell me how you work with people, I'm like, I love it. Like you're very like kind and easy to talk to and never pressuring anyone. I think that's really good. But I do agree. Like when that people are doing better just because they remember you talking, it's awesome. And I think it takes a certain kind of personality to be a coach and care about that. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Can you hear that lawnmower that just started up outside? You
No.
can? Okay.
Nope.
Because I can have it stopped.
No. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. And by the way, we might hear some puppy soon too.
Okay.
My
All
new
right.
puppy. So it's okay. No.
But then
No,
also just to add, like my mom, I've talked with her a lot, and my dad, trying to, kind of work on their eating habits. And mom, I mean, for her to turn around and say, I feel so much better.
Oh.
I feel so much better. Like I'm eating more vegetables throughout the day, like as snacks and stuff, and it makes her feel better. So, I mean, that's just makes me super happy.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's especially great when you can help somebody you really love too. And well, it's great helping everybody. But when your mother will listen to you, that's impressive, girl. That was something I tried forever with my mom, but and actually that just makes me think of a message we should share is that nobody's you can't force somebody to understand a message until they're ready. So
Yeah.
that's part of it too, right? So, okay, well, tell me a little bit about why. Like, why are you interested in helping people? And I know you just said that you like helping them and hearing them, remember you told them things, but but tell me a little bit more about what makes you want to do this.
Sure. Well, I think we'll dig deeper into this and maybe later in this interview, but just as a summary, like I've been there in the depths of like disordered eating. And even though I've been one of those people, I honestly have never struggled with my weight. It's always been that 5 to 10 pounds, but it's chasing that and chasing that. And so that gets in your head, and then you're doing all the diets. But anyways, I've been in the struggles of just food slavery almost, and just being tormented by food decisions and the guilt, the morality that you attach to food. And it's just really it will wear on you. And now that I have turned a corner, like it feels so good to not obsess over what I'm going to eat. Being able to go out to a restaurant and just pick what you want off the menu. So I want to give the same people that freedom, that worry-free wellness, just like, you're living your life the best you can, but in a comfortable way as it relates to nutrition and fitness. And so just to give them that,
yeah,
just that worry-free wellness, and lay the foundation, help guide them to lay that foundation. Like I mentioned earlier, I found my system. That's not going to be everyone's perfect system, but my big rocks, as I like to call it, those will work for anybody. Then it's the little things that I can help navigate you through, help you establish those big rocks, and then we can, navigate through the rest.
Right. Totally. Okay. So then you said that we would dive into it a little bit more. So let's do it. What, that I'm very passionately against dieting, and we've already kind of said that a little bit today, but I'm really against like named diets and feeling like people have to fit into a camp or into a box of a certain diet and follow the rules and feel stuck there and feel like a prisoner to the diet. Right. And I've been there. I know you've been there. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But well, actually just tell me, like, what do you mind sharing your story with us about?
No,
And I
and
know
I
it's
will.
related to dieting. So, so jump in
Right,
there.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to really give the like elevator pitch on this because I could talk for a really long time because it was several years that this kind of encompasses. But just to summarize, it was 2018. I, once again, like I said, was always chasing that 5 to 10 pounds,
Yeah.
which by the way isn't worth it. So if you're listening, it's not worth it. Rayanne actually mentioned in a previous podcast, really maintenance is, didn't you say plus or minus 4 pounds?
4 pounds.
So chasing the 5 pounds is really, it's not worth the effort. But
Yeah.
I decided to do the Whole30, and I'm going to call it out because I think that someone else might resonate with this. So the Whole30 is very restrictive, and it's a 30-day program. Obviously, you only eat like whole foods, and it cuts out several food groups. That 30 days turned into 45, but it's sent me into an absolute tailspin of, I thought I was in control, but really I was out of control. And so it was just created a restricting and binging cycle for me because in front of everyone, I was eating, quote, perfectly, but behind closed doors, let her rip,
Yeah.
eat the house out, go into the pantry and just go. So anyways, it was just really detrimental experience for me relationally, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. It really put a hurting on my marriage during that time.
Okay.
So actually though, I want to say this is what's really tricky about diets. And so this is a warning to you all. It did affect me physically, like in some ways because I was under eating, so that part of it. But on the flip side, this diet, I was eating more than I ever had, and my body felt good, but what it did to me mentally was it just didn't outweigh the cost. Like it wasn't worth the
benefits.
the benefits of that. And so just beware that even if you see a part of a diet working, that doesn't mean as a whole it's working for you. I mean, Rayanne said this time and time again, if you keep going back to that diet over and over, then is it really the solution? Is it really working? And it's probably not. So anyways, after about 6 months to 8 months of me just being in turmoil, I finally did go out and seek some counseling to help heal my relationship with food and heal my own body image that was all wrapped up in that. So it's very layered, but I know I can confidently say that doing that very restrictive diet was like the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess you could say. Yeah. And so I just forewarn you on doing those very restrictive diets.
Right. So I'm listening to you talk and I'm thinking, it really is true that these bad experiences that we go to are really meant to be a learning lesson, and you can either let these like situations in your life like totally bring you down, or you can use these to lift you up and to help others. And I think it's really awesome that you're doing that. So you're taking your experience, you got help, you feel better, you've worked on it, and now you're going to help other people not have to live through the same thing. And I think that's really amazing. So good job with that.
Thank you.
But also, do you mind me sharing, or you shared a story with me about a night you were getting ready to go out to dinner and your husband asked you, what do you want to eat? Can you tell me more about that? Do you know what I'm talking about, right? That story.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
It really stuck in my brain.
Oh yeah. So after that, since I was in that tailspin of like, I could no longer identify hunger and fullness. Really, I could no longer identify what I wanted, and I I could not speak what I wanted. And so he just says, "What do you want to eat tonight?" And I could not. I was paralyzed in that moment. And I knew, like in my brain, I was saying, "I really want a burger and fries. That's what I want." But I could not vocalize that because I was paralyzed with the guilt, and that's bad. Like that's bad choice. That's a choice that I cannot have tonight. And so he's really frustrated with me in that moment. He's like, "Just choose." And I started crying and I was like, "But I can't." Like nothing in my brain would work in that moment. And
Yeah.
that is when you get to that, like it's really time to reevaluate
Yeah.
the path that you're on.
I agree.
So
I agree. I
yeah.
had similar situations like that where you just literally like you're so scared to choose. And
Mhm.
it's like, why? I mean, looking back now being on the other side of it, it's like, what? What? Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Just like eat it. But that's because we've done the work. It's because we've been through the, trenches and we know that we are in control and we know that food doesn't control us and we don't have to follow diets. We don't have to follow strict rules. And so once and I think you'll agree with this, like once you no longer have the restrictions or have the rules or the good or the bad, it's like it's food is not, it doesn't lure you as much. It's like, and then you can eat a burger and fries. And it's so funny because even before, I'm talking like as a teenager, there's no way I would leave a bite of food. You mentioned that, the food clean plate club or whatever. Um, there wasn't no way would I ever do that. And so even as an adult, but in the last, I mean, just my lunch today, I was full and I was like, I mean, I felt a little bad still because it's the thing when it's ingrained in your head. I felt bad like not finishing it because I don't like to waste. But, even today, 17 years or so later after my weight loss and maintaining it, I still have to at least think about it. So it's better. It's way better, but it's like I still have to, it's not like you're going to get to a point and never ever think about it again. It's like, but you can get to a point where it's not a problem though. It's like you still have to remind yourself to stop eating when you're full and you still have to remind yourself to eat when you're hungry and but you no longer have to like be terrified to like, I mean, do you think similar?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Like,
Yes. One thing that I've heard you mention in this interview alone a few times and that I've said, it's work. Like if you're ready to make a change and really have the balanced, fit, and free lifestyle, it's going to take work. And it's not going to be easy, but it can be simple for you.
yes.
But it is going to definitely take work and effort. And at first, it does, it feels like work. But don't worry, just keep going at it because those things then that's what you're creating habits. You are truly creating a new way of life for yourself. And then it just becomes what you do. You
Yeah.
don't think about every single decision you're making. But at the beginning, you do have to put in the effort and you do have to think about those
Yeah.
decisions.
Because it really is easy to fall back into old habits if you're not keeping it on top of your mind. And so I know that a big part of what you want to work on too is you mentioned earlier mindset and how you think about food. And it's a really big thing. So yeah, so I love that you're going to cover that in your coaching as well. So tell me a little bit more about like your before that. Like what was your activity or health, tell me more about that as a kid and as you
Yeah.
grew.
I've really always been active. As a kid, it was always playing outdoors. We were hardly ever inside. In high school, I was in the marching band, which, is not super
You were?
active, but it's just kind of active.
I didn't even know you did
um,
that.
yeah. And so really, it wasn't until college that I actually would like go to the gym. But my gym experience in college and even early career was always a means to an end. It was tied to weight loss. Did I want to lose a few pounds? Sure, we'll go to the gym. And then it was like done for 6 months, 8 months to a year until felt like I needed to revisit that.
Right.
But then in like, I think it was 2015, I decided I'm really going to give this a go. Like, I'm going to try this gym thing and really try it consistently. And so I did that. Now it was still tied to weight loss to a degree,
Okay.
but it was consistent. At least I was like continuing to go. I had a routine, I had a schedule that I stuck to. And then in 2000, I guess like 17, 18, well, 18 is when I had all the havoc in my, that's when I hit rock bottom. And by that time, I was doing more training, but I wasn't focused on really strength. It was still be thin, be thin. 2018 was about be thin. Um, Thankfully, I've changed all that thinking. And
Good.
since 2019, I've continued since 2015, I've kept a continuous exercise like regimen.
Yeah.
But starting in 2019, it was like, I'm here to get strong. I'm here to get like healthy strong. I'm here to work on mobility, and endurance, work on getting a strong body. And not like muscle woman, which by the way, you're not going to get too muscular lifting heavy weights, okay? Just
Definitely not.
forget that.
Even if you want to.
Right.
I'm trying.
Right. But anyways, I just over the years I've fallen in love with going to the gym, with fitness, with getting strong. And so it's just been a progression as far as my working out goes. And now, I mean, it's part of my day. It's an extension of my work day, and it's my time. It's my hour to hour and a half of like just me in the gym, headphones in. It's such a great time to just unwind. And I know other people might not understand that, because you think unwinding is like maybe taking a relaxing nap or watching some TV. And if that's your thing, great. But for me, the gym is my time to decompress.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I think you're right. Like you said, to some people it doesn't sound relaxing or it doesn't sound appealing. But part of that too is just because maybe they haven't really gotten into the full effect of it and like really feeling it. I think a lot of people get scared and have this vision of what it's supposed to be versus what it could be, and it's like, and I know you are strong. I remember, watching you lift weights and like, that's awesome, but it wasn't like you just started there. You had to like
Exactly.
work up to it. And like you said, be consistent and make it part of your routine. So, now, are you going to do any fitness training, or are you going to mostly do wellness coaching?
Yeah, it'll probably just be wellness coaching, since I don't have a personal training like certification. Now, I would be happy to give people just gentle advice, and ideas, resources more. I won't be writing workouts, but I will be providing resources for my clients.
Great. Okay. I think that's really good. Well, so do you want to just walk us through like a typical day for you or week of your healthy habits? I always love
Yeah,
to hear
sure.
other people's habits.
We'll probably just stick to a week because it pretty much all looks the same. You know that as well as I do.
Yep. Yep.
So Sunday is always my planning day. Just spend maybe an hour or so. Well, more than that once you go to the grocery store and everything. But Sunday is like my meal planning, my prepping for the week, just getting an idea of what the week looks like.
Okay.
And then Monday through Friday, I go to work at 7 a.m., get off at 3:30, go straight to the gym. By the way, that is a great idea. Habit stack. Habit stacking is kind of what that's called. Well, this is a work day, so that's not really a habit, but we got to go to it. So
it's a routine stack. Yeah.
Yeah. Attach your workout to something you're already doing. So mine is an extension of my work day.
Yeah.
And after I get off from work, go home, fix dinner, clean up, do the whole thing the next day again.
Yeah.
But then as far as well, I always take Sunday as a rest day. And then Saturday is my fun day. Maybe that means I want to go for a fun run. Maybe I do want to go back to the gym for a day. Maybe I want to work in the garden, so that's kind of up in the air on that day. But Monday through Friday, I do try to get my workouts in.
I think that's great. I like the idea of the fun day
Yeah.
because you could go hiking, you could bike, whatever you want to do. I think that's
Mhm.
great. It's
Yeah.
and I think that's cool though that you make your fun day incorporates some sort of movement. It's like
Right.
it can either be a hardcore workout or it can be active rest. And I think that's really, and it's cool that it's fun to you. And I think that that's another really important message that movement can be really fun. You know, it's like, in fact, this is way off the subject, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So I've been training my neighbors and I don't know. Anyway, it's a fun thing. So they come over to my garage in the morning and we do like a 20-minute, like metabolic type workout. And they're really a fun couple. So this morning I was kind of teasing the man because he plays golf and he gets sore from golf. And I was like, oh yeah, golf's really hard. You know, like I was teasing him. And he was like, actually, do you know about speed golf? And I was like, no. And so I'm super pumped about some speed golf. You basically take just a couple clubs and you speed, like you hurry, and then you actually run from hole to hole, carrying just a few. So I was like, okay, I would be into some speed golf. Now, regular golf, oh no. No, thank you. Anyway, way off the subject, but I just wanted to throw out that my point is even golfers can get a little exercise. Okay. Well, so you mentioned, you meal plan. So you take lunch every day?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely, breakfast I fix at home and I eat it at home or take it to work.
Okay.
Oh, and lunch I take every day because one, I like to stay on a budget. And
course.
two, I'd rather eat whatever I eat because it's really hard in my area. There really aren't a lot of quote healthy options to choose from. It's mostly fast foods nearby me. And that's just not what I'm interested in on a day-to-day basis.
Really?
Do I eat fast food sometimes? Definitely. Everybody eats fast food at some point.
Oh yeah. So what if you had to go to a fast food restaurant? Let's say, let me pick one, McDonald's. What would you order?
I have no idea because
On the
I
spot.
haven't been to McDonald's in like, I don't even know how many years.
Yeah.
But I guess if I did, I mean, okay, so let's say if I did go to McDonald's, I'd probably just get like, I don't know. I don't even know what's good there. A chicken sandwich, maybe? Or one of those
Okay,
new, like,
there you go.
home style, like, chicken sandwiches?
Okay.
Maybe.
I was just curious. I just wanted to put you on the spot. Chick-fil-A is too easy because you can get grilled, whatever.
But at Chick-fil-A, I really can't pass up the original.
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. It is.
They even have gluten-free buns now. But the chicken is not gluten-free because it's breaded. So I have to get the grilled, but it's still it still feels like acceptable occasionally, So,
Mhm.
but see, we all have to do it. I mean, and I just wanted to point that out that you have to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. One more question about your habits. So after the gym, you go home, you make dinner. What's your nighttime routine like?
Pretty much I try to get as much as I can done and prepped for the next day. Like, even though these are little small tasks, remember to use your little, like, 5-minute windows, just, packing my lunch for the next day.
Yeah.
Packing my breakfast or making sure I know, packing my gym bag to take with me, like getting ready to hit the ground running the next day, laying my clothes out for the next day. Then I also, by like 8 o'clock, 8:30, I try to sit down and be done with my running around the house because I try to be asleep by 9:30.
9:30.
So,
well, you have to get up early if you go to work at 7.
right.
Yeah.
So then maybe me and Adam will watch one or two shows. And that's pretty much it. But my biggest goal every day, every evening is just making sure I'm ready for the next day.
Okay.
Thinking about what that day is going to look like.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's awesome. In fact, I just was asking that because we just finished I'm running currently my 12-week program and we just finished nighttime routine, having to talk about that. So I thought, hey, I should ask you. And how many hours of sleep do you get? Sorry. Good.
7 to 8 to 9. I mean, 7 to 9. I mean, for sure. Like mostly 8
Good.
is what I shoot for. Let's see. And I do have to add this because you'll appreciate this. Part of my nighttime routine, lavender. Lavender
Oh, yes.
rollerball on the bottoms of my feet, on my temples.
Good.
It's so wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Those essential oils are really, I mean, I love them too. And in fact, right before we got on, I did a fitness shoot today for another company and it was really fun, but I did too many lunges and my knee is killing me. And so I threw on some Deep Blue, which is like a muscle thing. So that anyway, I use them too. Anyway, but that makes me think of another question. I don't even know if you want to talk about this, but one of the other things you've helped me with is my skincare. Not just skincare, but like clean beauty. So I know that well, you're my rep for Beauty Counter. So whenever I need anything that is like makeup or skincare or sunscreen, which by the way, you posted about, I think today or yesterday,
Mhm.
you are my go-to person. So do you want to mention anything about that? About why you like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was in 2019 was really a big year for me, like trying to find my way in wellness.
Mhm.
And so one thing that I happened upon was actually like your skincare, like environmental factors, the other stuff that goes along. It is great to nourish your body with good foods.
Right.
But there's more that we're subjecting ourselves to every day, and our products are one of those things. And so I've learned enough now to know I'm not like a fear monger and I'm not living in a bubble, but whatever I can do in my life to reduce my risk of, adverse health effects for what we're using, then great. That's what I'm going to do. So I can make simple um, decisions like swapping my face care, my makeup products, my body care products into into clean products. So meaning they don't have uh, ingredients that are harmful or potentially harmful to the human body. And so Beauty Counter is the leader in clean beauty. And I like the company. I love the CEO, Greg Renfrew. I've met her recently, and she is just so down to earth. And I just feel like, I mean, it's a great company. Actually, I want to add this. So I went to have a facial Sunday, and I was talking to the esthetician, and she asked, what do you use? And I said, Beauty Counter. And she was like, that is really great stuff. She said, I was skeptical at first because it is it's a company that's direct to consumer, but also people like me are also consultants. So
Right.
it's
So people are
sells both
hesitant.
ways. But she was skeptical. She said it's really fantastic.
Yeah.
And so that made me feel good because I mean, I love it for my skin. I know
Yeah.
that it's made a difference. I feel like the lighting here makes me look red, but I'm telling you, my skin has never looked better.
Yeah. No,
So,
I love it. I love it. And you might know because I keep ordering it. My favorite product is the sunscreen. Well,
yeah.
actually, I love the cleanser. I do the moisturizer. I do the night cream. I mean, I do it all because, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, help, help my face. But also, one thing that you and I haven't really talked a lot about is, I mean, that I'm really interested in helping people with thyroid issues because I also have thyroid issues and I finished my course for helping people with thyroid. But anyway, one of the biggest things that more and more research is coming out is that pollutants, toxins are one of the main reasons or a big part of why a lot of people have thyroid issues and autoimmune disease. And so, even eating things like organic food and all of that can be really important. And truthfully, for years, I mean, I've always read that. I mean, not always, but in the last probably 10 years, like it's been in there in the world. And, but I've always just been like, just eat a vegetable, like just eat a vegetable. I don't care if it's organic, like get in the broccoli, no matter what. And I still believe that because not everybody has the resources. Not everybody's able to always get the organic and get the most important, cleanest thing. So I still believe, eat a regular broccoli over organic instead of a candy bar, but the more and more that I've learned just in the last year And in my own personal journey, I'm seeing how really important it is. So like, I'm not trying to be, like you said, I'm not trying to be like scare people or like be really weird about it or anything, but like I don't drink out of plastic anymore. I've changed all of my products, not all of them. Okay. Not all of them. I'm working on a few makeup products, but I'm trying to do the, the beauty counter, the clean products and trying to, so I think though, it is really important. So was so grateful that you taught me about Beauty Counter. I had heard the name and just didn't even look at it because I'm just not really interested in like makeup and stuff like that. But so, when I heard that first, I was like, yeah. I mean, I wanted to like for you, I would look at it, whatever. But then when you taught me, I was like, oh, like this is important, especially, I mean, I just love all of this. So anyway, thank you for sharing that with us. And would you like me, I'll go ahead and in the show notes post, how to get in touch with you, and also maybe a link to that as well.
Yeah.
But hey, so I am really happy that you've been able to join me today, and I'm sure everybody's loved hearing your story and hearing more from you. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, what is the best way? Where can they find you? How can we do that?
Okay, so on Instagram, I am at ashley.c.fox.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in the show notes link
Okay,
thing.
great.
Okay, awesome.
And it's I mean, that's just my name. So it's like a personal page, but I mean, my life is health and wellness. So it's you kind of see it all there. But what I'm super excited about is I'm getting ready to launch a Facebook group community, and it's going to be called Worry Free Wellness.
I love that.
And so since I don't currently have like a private page or a business page, I don't feel really comfortable sharing some of the details I've shared with you today and on my just public page. So I felt like creating a Facebook group would really give me the opportunity to get more intimate with, my potential clients or just friends, and just be able to really share on a more intimate level with other people, and other people be able to open up. So I'll just be I'm really excited about starting that group up and just seeing what comes of it.
Yeah, I think that's great. And you and I had a conversation about, when we share stuff on social media or email or whatever, that it can be as the coach, it can be very intimidating because we have people in our family, or not just family, but friends and people close to us that see us in a different way because they see us as their, you know, little sister or their, or sibling or whatever, or daughter or neighbor, or they don't always see us and all of our experiences the same. And so it took me a long time to get comfortable sharing what I share on Facebook and on Instagram, because I too was so worried. Like I was worried that people were going to judge what I was thinking or not believe me, it was such a strange thing. But, at the same time, I think it's really important that people know your true you, because the more you help people, tell you and be authentic, the more people are going to be willing to do the same. And I think so it's cool. And I love the idea of the wellness, worry-free wellness. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I'm excited to see. I'm going to join.
Yeah, great.
So, all right. Well, so is there anything else you want to share with us today before we go?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around to watch this interview or listen if you're on podcast. Anyways, just thanks for hearing this. And I just hope that something resonated with you today and that you can take away some hope, actually. If you're in the place that I was a few years ago, just in an obsession, tormented by food and all that, hear me out. You can get out of it. It's going to take some work, but you can get out of it. And I would love to help you get there.
Yeah. That's awesome, Ashley. Thank you. Well, you guys, if you want to get in touch with Ashley or look up her Worry-Free Wellness group, I'll put the links in the show notes. And of course, as always, we would love to hear from you. Tell us what you think. If you too have a story that you would like to share, maybe you are also a balanced, fit, and free woman and you would like to share your story, please let me know. I'd love to have you on the show. So thanks, Ashley, and we will catch you later.